Good morning, fourth max students. Now we will learn objectives and need for continuous and comprehensive evaluation. Okay, I have taken down a few points, and you also should simply take down it, and you should explain each point. Okay, the first point you simply not only first point, all the points you should take down, and then you have to explain. Okay, so this is what I have to do today. So objectives of continuous and comprehensive evaluation. Okay, the first one, to make evaluation an integral part of teaching learning process. To make evaluation an integral part of teaching and learning process. So this is the first point. And to make evaluation an integral part of teaching and learning process. So in education, teaching and learning process, and that is what called as education. Teaching and learning process is called as education. So I as a teacher and you as students learn, and as you learn, as I teach and as you learn, there should be evaluation. Okay, and so in the teaching learning process, so I teach, as a teacher I teach, and let's say the summative evaluation, it is the public examination, the university examination. I am the teacher and I teach you and I don't evaluate you. So that is not a proper way of evaluation. And in case of continuous and comprehensive evaluation, the teacher evaluates the students, and at the same time the proper mode of the summative evaluation. Okay, so the public examination, the university examination, that is conducted by the government, which prescribes its syllabus, the textbook, and then it evaluates, and that is also done, and weekly wise, monthly wise, unit wise, and your affective domain, psychomotor domain, everything is evaluated. Okay, so therefore in the teaching learning process, and evaluation becomes an integral part. So as a teacher, as I teach, I evaluate you. So it integrated, that is joined. I integrated course, IC integrated course, that is joined. One discipline, maths and education, it is joined, combined together. Okay, so the teaching learning, in the teaching learning process, evaluation also become an integral part in continuous and comprehensive evaluation, and because evaluation is important. Okay, so in education, in learning process, evaluation is important. Therefore, continuous and comprehensive evaluation is the solution. So that is the first objective. And the second objective, second point, to use evaluation for improvement of students' achievement through diagnosis and remedial measures. Okay, second point, to use evaluation for improvement of students, to use evaluation for improvement of students' achievement through diagnosis and remedial measures. Okay, so through continuous and comprehensive evaluation, this method of evaluation alone helps the students to improve their performance, to improve their achievement. Okay, so the teacher conducts diagnosis test and achievement test, and then a teacher is able to know the student's weakness, and by that remedial measures are taken and students' performance are improved. Okay, so especially for the improvement of students, this continuous and comprehensive evaluation is necessary, and let's say that is the second objective, that is the second, aim is a higher word, then this is to improve students' performance. Okay, so now the third point, please take down. To make sound judgment and a timely decision for learners' growth, learning process, and learning pace and learning environment. To make sound judgment and timely decisions for learners' growth, learning process, and learning pace and learning environment. Okay. See, this is this objective. The third objective is further extension of the second objective. That is to make sound judgment, not only on learners' difficulty and learners' growth. The time the learners face the learning environment and the learning progress, everything could be easily judged through continuous and comprehensive evaluation. Okay, see, actually, all of us can learn anything. Okay, if even now, if I am forced, or whether I like it or not, if I am given an MBBS seat and I sit as a student, let's say my age is 33, and let's say dramatically it is given, I can also complete the MBBS course. Okay, anyone 50 years of age and 70 years of age, even if I'm a father who is 65, and if he sits in MBBS course, he can also become a doctor. But the problem is time. Okay, so for my father, if he is definitely if he is given 15 years, he will be a qualified doctor. Okay. See, if a student, the student is failed in HSC, in higher secondary level, the student is failed. Even if he is given seat, he can also complete the course. But the problem is he needs time. He also needs 15 years of time. Okay, I am very sure if all of us are given 15 years of time, all will be qualified as a doctor. Okay, see, say for I do not know. Say for example, Pratika, other students also perform well. Say for example, Pratika, and all the students in your class can perform more than Pratika. Definitely, it is very sure, and all of you can perform more than Pratika. But the problem is the time. Okay, so I give you a daily assignment, and I expect you to complete it within 1:30. I should receive it. Okay, so the time factor is the problem. And if you are given enough time, and if you are motivated properly, and if you are given enough time, definitely each and every one of you will perform more than Pratika, Bhuneshwari, or Mercy, Pelishta, whoever it could be. Okay, so the time is the factor, and if you are given enough time, and if you are motivated properly, and all of you can score more than 90 marks in the university examination. But the stipulated time is 6 months. Okay, so in the 6 months you have to complete this course. You have to complete the first semester. Okay, so in the stipulated time you have to perform. In the stipulated time you are able to score, one student is able to score only 60, but another student is able to score 90, and some students are able to score 95. Okay, all the students will be able to score 100% of marks, but the problem is the time and motivation. If you are given time and if you are motivated properly, all of you can score 100 marks in mathematics subject. Okay, so when this is the principle, in the 6 months of course, what kind of syllabus can be prescribed to you? How the teacher can teach to the students? In the if 40 minutes is given to you. In the 40 minutes, most of the students, most of the students are able to learn. Okay, such things could be judged only through continuous and comprehensive evaluation. Okay, so not only time, not only time and learning phase. So I learn in this phase only. I need 3 hours time. Say for example, a single Tirukural. By heart the single one Tirukural and explain it. Let's say some intelligent students need some genius students need only 5 minutes to by heart the Tirukural and explain it. For some students, they need 3 hours time or even 10 hours time. It depends, but all of you are able, all of us are able to say by heart the Tirukural and say it, even 1330 Tirukurals, all of us can say it. Okay, so the learning phase and the learning environment, okay, that also matters a lot. Okay, so in this environment only you will be able to learn. See, the problem is online education. Okay, so behind the cell phone, of course now none of my family members are here in the hall, and my parents may be there. There could be sound when you listen to the my video lecture. There could be sound, there could be disturbance. So the learning environment, and that is the reason most of the states cancelled +2 examination. In home, some students may have facility. In home, some students may not have facility to listen to the online classes. So it is a kind of injustice. Okay, so this is the problem here. And 1 second. So okay, now we shall move to the next point. To maintain desired standard of attainment. Okay, to maintain desired standard of attainment. This is the 4th point, to maintain desired standard of attainment. So see, after learning this point, and I myself feel guilty. Let's say this is the syllabus, and at least to the minimum level, students should have knowledge on the topics given in the syllabus, and that was my attainment. Okay, so as I give you the video lecture, as you listen to the video lecture carefully and you summarize it, and during examination, if you go through it and somewhat you will be able to answer a few questions, even if it is online or offline, it doesn't matter. Somewhat you will be able to answer the questions in the questions asked in the university examination. Okay, if you do it, definitely, if you listen to the, if you genuinely listen to the video lecture and summarize it, and before the examination, if you go through it, and definitely you will be able to answer. There is no doubt in it. Okay, so this is my attainment. Okay, this is my aim, but this aim is not great as a teacher. Okay, and even though it is online class, I am not able to see your faces. Yet the teacher should have more aims, higher aims. Okay, and then only the quality of education is improved. Okay, but this is my minimum level of attainment. Okay, somehow the main ideas of the syllabus should reach the students. Okay, so if we do continuous and comprehensive evaluation, actually this is a method is an example of continuous and comprehensive evaluation, and let's say some few students do not improve at all. Okay, and for that I have to do remedial measures. Okay, and let's say a few students do not attend the class itself, and then I have to contact them and what is the problem, and helping those students. Let's say this itself is a problem for me. So making the students to attend the class itself is a problem, and that alone cannot be the attainment of a good teacher or a great teacher. I have to make the students to attend the classes, and then I have to make the students to improve your performance, and likewise huge scope are there. Okay, and I have to make the good teacher should motivate them, and so see, this is my attainment, and how the attainment is done or not. Okay, so as I go through your scripts, okay, obviously those who attend the main idea, of course, some of you completely misunderstood, and but overall, if you attend, if you regularly watch and perceive the video and write it, somewhat the main ideas are you are able to do it, but that alone cannot be satisfied. You should be thorough with the syllabus. Okay, that is the main attainment. Okay, so but the minimum level of attainment, the standard is some ideas you should have. So that could, those things could be easily measured when we do continuous and comprehensive evaluation. That is the desired standard of attainment. Okay, I am explaining the desired standard of attainment. So to maintain the desired standard of attainment, continuous and comprehensive evaluation should be done, and to provide scope for self-evaluation. Okay, and you also can do self-evaluation. Okay, and I mean, I forgot. Actually, most of you should call me, and how can I improve my writings, and have I understood or not. So and doubts clarification, you yourself should call me. I mean, it is online education, so you have to call me, and I have to clarify your doubts, and such kind of self-evaluation should be done. Okay, so when we do continuous and comprehensive evaluation, there is scope for students to do their self-evaluation. Okay, and then to make, I mean, now the next topic is need for continuous and comprehensive evaluation. Okay, need here is that is necessary. Continuous and comprehensive evaluation is necessary at the school and the college level. Okay, why there is need for continuous and comprehensive evaluation? It makes educational I mean, the first point, the first need. I mean, first point need. When the topic is need for continuous and comprehensive evaluation. Okay, here the first point is it makes education process student centric. It makes the education process student centric. Okay, so for education is provided to children, it is for the students. So if you do continuous and comprehensive evaluation, it makes the ultimate purpose that is student centric. Okay, so an individual's performance, individual's motivation level, and everything could be easily measured through continuous and comprehensive evaluation. So that is the most important. And the second point, to develop cognitive, psychomotor, and interpersonal skills. To develop cognitive, affective, psychomotor, and interpersonal skills. Okay, so students affective domain, cognitive domain, psychomotor domain, and their interpersonal skills, introspection. Okay, my name is Prasad and I am very calm and I of course I focus on studies and teaching, and what point how often do I get distracted, how often I watch movies, so such kind of my own positive traits and negative traits could be analyzed, and students psychomotor and cognitive affective domain and all the aspects of students are developed through continuous and comprehensive evaluation. Okay, for this purpose also CCE is needed to develop students achievement through continuous assessment, diagnosis, remedial measures, assessment in core scholastic areas. So the third point, to develop students' achievement through continuous assessment, diagnosis and remedial measures in scholastic areas and in core scholastic areas. Okay, so students' achievement both in scholastic areas and core scholastic areas, that is arts and performance, dance, sports, and these things are also evaluated, and students' diagnosis, their problems and their remedial measures, everything is done through continuous and comprehensive evaluation. Okay, so students' core scholastic and scholastic areas, their diagnosis, their problems and the remedial measures, everything is done. So for that purpose also it is needed. And fourth point, by continuous evaluation, children know their strength and weakness. It provides a child a realistic self-assessment of how he or she studies. So the fourth point, by continuous evaluation, children can know their strength and weakness. It provides a child a realistic self-assessment of how he or she studies. Okay, students themselves know their strength and weakness, and they can have a self-assessment. Okay, so for this purpose also CCE is needed. Okay, they themselves know their self strength and weakness. Okay, so I am good in grammar, I am good in particles, I am good in direct and indirect speech, but I feel difficulty in simple common complex. I feel difficulty in memorizing poetry. So everything students themselves find their own strength and weakness. Okay, so it is for this purpose also CCE is needed. And fifth point, it helps learner to determine the areas of instruction where emphasis is required. Fifth point, it helps the learner to determine the areas of instruction where more emphasis is required. Okay, so see, it helps the learner to determine the areas of instruction where more emphasis is needed. So I need more clarity in maths, I need more time to study maths, I need more time to study grammar. Such thing students can get more clarity. Okay, see, because of continuous and comprehensive evaluation, diagnostic test is done, achievement test is done, and by that students know the strength and weakness. So I need more explanation in this particular unit. I do not know what is trigonometry, I do not know what is algebra, I need more time. Students can have clarity with that. Okay, algebra I do not know, therefore I need more time. Sir, I do not know algebra, I do not know grammar, I need more time on that. Okay, so such things could also be done through continuous and comprehensive evaluation. So where, on what area the students need more emphasis. Okay, that also could be done through continuous and comprehensive evaluation. And last point, it helps in making decisions for the future regarding choice of subject, courses and careers. So only through continuous and let me repeat it again, the last point, it helps in making decisions for the future regarding the choice of subjects, courses and careers. For the future, okay, so you are good in maths, therefore you can become an engineer. You are good in science, therefore you can become a doctor. Such thing could be decided only through continuous and comprehensive evaluation. Okay, so for this purpose also CC is needed. So that's the last point. Thus the objective and need for continuous and comprehensive evaluation is done. So let me again revise how the evaluation could be done. That is in scholastic areas, oral test is also example of continuous and comprehensive evaluation. Diagnostic test, project work, practical work, practical test, everything is example of continuous and comprehensive evaluation. So class test, unit test and assignments, so diagnostic test, this could be done monthly wise, weekly wise, and in scholastic areas, this in these ways of continuous and comprehensive evaluation can be done. Please make mention of it. How in scholastic areas continuous and comprehensive evaluation can be done. It is by conducting a diagnostic test, oral test, written test, project test, practical work, unit test, and they are all examples of continuous and comprehensive evaluation. They can be done weekly wise, monthly wise, unit wise. So this continuous and comprehensive evaluation can be done in scholastic areas. In post-scholastic areas, students' cleanliness, their truth, how far they speak the truth, their cooperation, their discipline, their punctuality, and their in arts like the ability to appreciate music, singing, dancing, sports. So everything can be should be done. Then only it is called as continuous and comprehensive evaluation. The affective domain, psychomotor domain, everything should be evaluated. But the discipline, the truth, how can they be conducted? It is by observation and interview. Okay, by observation, and the teacher should cleanly observe each and every student. By that, yes, the student is disciplined. The student speaks truth. The student maintains his cleanliness. Okay, and the student is very good in sports. So everything could be done by proper observation. There are some rating scales also to measure students' cleanliness, the discipline, the truthfulness. There are some rating scales. By that also, rating scales, there is a questionnaire, and by observation also, teacher can do a rate students' value in them. And by giving him a questionnaire, okay, you answer it very good, I like it, I dislike it, but there are all examples of rating skills. Okay, so through rating skills also, students post-scholastic areas can be graded. Only grading should be done in a post-scholastic area. Okay. So that's the end of this topic, important topic, continuous and comprehensive evaluation. Thank you.